Live from ABC7, this is Eyewitness News at 7 p.m. on LA56.
House Republicans vote on a Senate amendment to keep the Department of Homeland Security funded.
Don't put away that winter coat just yet. A cold storm is headed to Southern California and is expected to bring rain and snow.
Live long and prosper.
Known around the world as Mr. Spock, Leonard Nimoy is being mourned and honored today. We look back at the life and legacy of the legendary Star Trek actor. Good evening, I'm Rudabe Shabazi in for Colleen Sullivan.
And I'm David Ono. Welcome to Eyewitness News on LA56, LA's only live local newscast at 7 p.m. And we are covering breaking news right now. In a surprise move, the House today earlier rejected a bill to grant the Department of Homeland Security a funding extension of 3 weeks. But here is a live look at the Capitol, where representatives just voted on a new measure that will ensure full funding for just 1 week. The Senate passed the bill hastily by voice vote just a little while ago. Now it went to the House. The House, you saw him gavelled. The House just voted in favor of this bill, so barely getting it in under the deadline, which would have been 9 o'clock our time, midnight East Coast time. The Department of Homeland Security will be funded for 1 more week thanks to the vote that just completed at 7 o'clock tonight, our time. A vast majority of people, I think the final count was somewhere around 356 to 60. It did pass. Homeland Security will not shut down, but there are bigger questions that still loom, and we'll bring that to you as well later on Eyewitness News.
Our other big story tonight, the incoming winter storm. Meteorologist Jonathan Novak is here with a first look at what we can expect. Jonathan?
Rudabe, folks, another weekend where we have rain chances on the increase. Live Mega Doppler 7000 HD. We are dry right now. Actually, a couple of readings now showing up right over the mountain areas. Very light, though. Up to the north is where any real activity is hanging around California. And you can see around the High Sierra, and they have snow already. Some light rainfall, even some lightning strikes showing up east of Sonora, and Mammoth getting a little bit of light snow right now. That is what's going to be heading toward our area of California as we see the system dive south down the coast. And that's going to mean rain chances as we go through Saturday and Sunday. Just to give you an idea, as we go through the next couple of days, we could see upwards of 1 foot of snow in the mountains. I'll detail the amount of rain we could have and when it finally dries up in your 7-day forecast.
All right, thanks, Jonathan. And use your smartphone to track the stormy weather with the free ABC7 Mega Doppler weather app. Download it from the iTunes App Store and Google Play. You can search Mega Doppler.
For 5 decades, actor Leonard Nimoy entertained the world with his stellar character, Mr. Spock. He died today at 83. And as he embarks on the final frontier, he will always live long and prosper with Star Trek fans all around the globe. Here's Eyewitness News reporter George Pinocchio.
Live long and prosper.
Leonard Nimoy lived for 83 years, almost 50 of them known around the world as Mr. Spock from Star Trek.
You can see Captain Kirk is a highly sensitive and emotional person. I believe he has lost the capacity for rational decision.
Once Star Trek went on the air, and ever since, I've never had to worry about making a living. I'm a very, very grateful actor. I have no complaints about Star Trek and what it's done to my life.
Live long and prosper.
Nimoy appeared in the 6 early Star Trek films, directing 2 of them, and he returned to support the 2009 reboot and its sequel 4 years later.
Put aside logic. Do what feels right.
They tell me that when I came on the set, they were intimidated. And I think that's appropriate. When I was their age and I came, and the big guy came on the set, I was intimidated. Now it's their turn to be intimidated.
Jokes aside, Nimoy welcomed his Star Trek history. And today, his longtime pal William Shatner said, "I loved him like a brother. We will all miss his humor, his talent, and his capacity to love."
To boldly go where no man has gone before.
When Star Trek debuted back in 1966, it was not a big hit. In truth, during its 3 seasons on television, it struggled to find an audience beyond teenage boys. It was canceled in '69, but Trekkies have kept it in the public eye ever since. Today, his Star Trek co-star Nichelle Nichols said while she was saddened to learn of the death of her dear friend, she wanted to celebrate Nimoy's extraordinary life. He was a true force of strength, and his character was that of a champion. His vision and heart are bigger than the universe.
Back in 2001, Nimoy and his wife donated $1 million to renovate the historic Griffith Observatory. Inside that famous landmark, a theater that bears his name. In the newsroom, George Pinocchio, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
President Obama issued this statement. Long before being nerdy was cool, there was Leonard Nimoy. Leonard was a lifelong lover of the arts and humanities, a supporter of the sciences, generous with his talent and his time. And of course, Leonard was Spock. Cool, logical, big-eared, and level-headed, the center of Star Trek's optimistic, inclusive vision of humanity's future. I loved Spock. At Nimoy's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, a wreath was placed, and fans have been leaving their own tributes. They're sharing their feelings as well, many saying the late actor's iconic role of Mr. Spock inspired them.
You look at a lot of, scientists and explorers and astronauts and people around the scientific community who definitely uphold his tenets as things that got them into the actual world of science.
He was my favorite character on Star Trek, I live my life like he does, logically. Everything was built on logic, and, he's touched me. Even though his character was fictional, he was real.
The TCL Chinese Theater plans to dim its forecourt lights tonight in honor of the actor.
Here's the big story tonight. The dress worn on the red carpet this Sunday by actress Lupita Nyong'o has been returned. The Calvin Klein dress was stolen earlier this week from the London Hotel in West Hollywood. It was adorned with 6,000 pearls and apparently worth $150,000. Sheriff's deputies say that they were alerted to the location of the dress by producers at TMZ, who say that they were contacted by an anonymous caller. The caller told them the dress was left in a bag in a second-floor bathroom that is under renovation.
In Hawthorne, a man is arrested, charged with running down and killing his girlfriend's elderly mother. It happened last night on the 13,000 block of Doty Avenue. Detectives say 25-year-old Amir Bass and his girlfriend were arguing in the middle of the street at around 8:30 last night. That's when neighbors say he drove the car into her and her 67-year-old mother. The girlfriend suffered minor injuries. Her mother later died at the hospital. Neighbors are shocked by the tragedy.
Because it didn't have to come to that. My true thoughts on it is I don't think he meant to do that. I think it just happened. A real tragic accident. I think it was a real tragic accident, and that's what I really think.
Bass drove away but was later found and arrested. He'll be in court next week facing murder charges.
Tonight, a call to action following a deadly street racing crash and the ongoing plague of hit-and-run crashes. One LA City Councilman wants to go after the drivers and their cars. And Eyewitness News reporter Leo Stallworth has a story.
One city official wants to do more to crack down on illegal street racing and hit-and-run drivers. This after the driver of a Ford Mustang lost control of his car during a race in Chatsworth yesterday morning. As seen in this exclusive video obtained by Eyewitness News, the car takes off, veers out of control into a crowd of 60 spectators, killing 2 people and injuring 1.
They're fast and I'm furious, so now is the time to crack down on this.
Councilman Mitchell Englander says his Get Tough proposed ordinance would not only lock up illegal street racers or hit-and-run drivers who cause injury or death to victims, but also destroy their vehicles.
We're going to get them where it hurts because they clearly don't care about human lives. They care about their cars. We're going to confiscate, we're going to seize their car, and we're going to crush it. We're going to destroy it. We're going to do it right in front of them, and we're going to set an example.
Police are still on the hunt for 21-year-old Henry Gaborgian, the man they identify as the driver of the car that plowed into the victims. The councilman is encouraging the suspect to turn himself in.
It makes it a lot easier for the parents, the family members, your own family, and yourself. We know you're probably not sleeping at night. You're going to get caught. Turn yourself in. Do the right thing.
The councilman says recently passed legislation offers a standing reward for tips that help police catch and convict hit-and-run drivers.
You're going to get a $50,000 to $25,000 reward automatically, and it's an anonymous tip.
The councilman plans to introduce his proposed ordinance to the city council next week. At the LAPD Valley Traffic Division in Panorama City, Leo Stallworth, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Surprise pain at the pump today for drivers looking to fill up. The average price of a gallon of gas across Southern California jumped 15 cents overnight. It's been going up a little every day for nearly a month. In LA and Long Beach, the average price is at $3.40 a gallon. That's up from $3.25 just yesterday. In Orange County, gas is at $3.39, up from $3.24 yesterday. In the IE, drivers are paying $3.31 a gallon, up from $3.18 yesterday. And in Ventura, it is $3.37, up from just $3.22 yesterday.
Well, if you're heading to LAX anytime soon, be prepared for some major repairs and improvements. We've told you all about the terminal upgrades, but there's another phase that will directly impact airline traffic. Eyewitness News reporter Miriam Hernandez got a close-up look today with airport officials.
Imagine a rehab project that extends over miles. Now picture the logistics. How do you complete a massive repaving job while aircraft is landing and taking off 1,900 times a day?
I liken this to actually doing open heart surgery on a patient that's running a marathon.
It is a $250 million project federally mandated. The ends of all 4 runways must be expanded because of accidents that have happened in these safety areas worldwide.
Our aircraft have either landed short or in some instances had operational failures and ended up overshooting the end of a runway due to braking problems.
A separate issue is weathered asphalt. These runways were last paved 10 years ago. They take a beating with aircraft that is heavier than ever. This A380 weighs 1 million pounds when loaded. With so much traffic, runways erode. Debris like this can cause trouble.
It can actually get sucked into the turbines of an aircraft, and it can actually damage an engine on takeoff or on landing.
The job is complicated because even though it looks like there is a wide open space to stage all the construction equipment, LAX is operating in cramped quarters. This, the second busiest airport in the nation, measures 1/5 to 1/10 the size of other hubs. The warning ahead, there may be flight delays and in neighboring communities, more noise, as the runways take turns being shut down and the air traffic patterns are adjusted. Construction starts next month and will continue for the next 3 years. Miriam Hernandez, ABC7, Eyewitness News.
A deadly shooting spree shocks a small town.
Up next, what triggered the massacre that leaves 9 people dead? What's this?
My iPhone blew up. And everybody's answer is, what?
An exploding iPhone sends a man to the hospital for days. What some experts believe caused it to blow up.
And gold white, blue black, the last word on the dress debate, and we'll hear from its designer.
A Missouri community in shock tonight after a killing spree in a normally quiet town. 8 people are dead, including a gunman in the shooting rampage. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez has the latest on the investigation.
The crime scene stretching from home to home in the rural Missouri town of Tyrone. 7 people shot to death last night before police say the killer drove away and later turned the gun on himself. His body found in his vehicle along a highway.
We're still early in this investigation. We've still got family and people to talk to. You know, we're not going to have all the answers today.
The St. Louis Post-Dispatch reports that the coroner in Texas County, Missouri, believes the shooting spree may have started after the gunman found his elderly mother dead from natural causes. Police say the 36-year-old man then went to at least 4 other houses, opening fire. A girl who was in one of those homes called 911.
Indicated that she was in the residence and apparently had heard gunshots. She immediately fled to a neighbor's house to notify authorities and responding deputies.
Police say the girl is okay. All of the victims were adults, including a woman who was shot but survived and is now helping investigators.
Yeah, police say they still don't know the motive, but they have identified the gunman as Joseph Jesse Aldridge, and they say at least several of the victims were his cousins. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, New York.
A tense rescue operation in Northern California, all to save 2 vandalism suspects. The men are accused of spraying graffiti on a historic military structure in Sausalito, but when they tried to escape park rangers, they got trapped 50 and 100 feet down a steep cliffside. The CHP and firefighters were called in. A helicopter plucked one of the men from his perch. The second suspect was rescued using ropes. They now face charges including trespassing, resisting an officer, and vandalism. If you carry your cell phone in your pocket, you may want to listen to this. A Long Island, New York man claims without warning his iPhone 5C exploded in his pocket. He suffered third-degree burns so severe he was hospitalized in a burn unit for more than a week and still requires a visit of a nurse to change his bandages.
Bent over to get keys, and all I heard was pop. And just after that, a little smoke coming out and just like an instant burn. And my legs just start going on fire. And first thing I do, I try to get it out, can't get it out. And I was literally jumping up and down trying to get the phone out of my pocket. But I think I had dress pants on. I think the phone melted my pockets shut. A couple people actually said they can actually smell my body burning.
Oh, man. I always carry my phone in my pocket.
Yeah,
Tech experts, they say damage to a phone's circuit board or the use of third-party charging devices can cause the battery to overheat. Apple says it is looking into the case.
Now to the dress debate that broke the internet. Social media blew up overnight as people questioned the color of a dress, blue and black or white and gold. Tonight we have the final word.
Friends and coworkers worldwide are debating the now famous lace dress.
White and gold. That's what I see, anyway. Yep. No way, that's black and blue. No way.
It's even being argued among employees at the company that made it.
The debate started because the person next to you will say, well, I see white. And I said, well, no, it's royal blue.
Online, #the dress surged to the top of the trending list globally within hours. The designer of Roman Originals says the makers had no idea about the optical illusion.
I would like to definitely resolve this big enigma by clarifying that the color is royal blue and black, but we are happy to put into production the white and gold if the demand comes along.
And it has, in a big way. Roman Originals reporting 1 million hits on its sales site in the first 18 hours following the social media storm. The chain's website now headlines its product as #the dress, now back in stock, debate now. Ophthalmologists are calling the photo a 1 in a million shot that perfectly captures how people's brains perceive color and process contrast in dramatically different ways.
So context has to do, lighting has to do with how we see things, and ultimately our brain is what interprets what we see.
And experts also say people who subconsciously seek detail in those black lines on the dress convert them to a golden hue so that the blue disappears into a blown-out white. Others whose brains focus on the blue part of the dress see the photo as blue and black, which the dress is blue and black.
Yeah, so just to be clear, the dress is blue and black.
Right.
All those photos where it looked white and gold, it is the blue and black dress.
It is the blue and black dress.
It's not a white and gold dress.
As far as
also.
we know.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't see gold. You saw gold?
Yeah, I saw gold.
I didn't see any gold.
Oh, here we go again.
Here we go.
How about a storm?
Keeps on
Do you see any
going.
storms going in?
This is orange, right? Right here?
It's changing.
Okay, good. I'm
it's
just making
white.
sure that I can, all right. My suit is purple, right? Good, okay. The Malibu time lapse from earlier today. And again, some clouds that were thickening up through the day today ahead of the chance of rain. We're only talking about green for the weekend, my friends. As the live Mega Doppler 7000 HD already showing some echoes showing up. Little bit near Big Bear, just a tiny little reading that popped up over the last hour. Now it's actually gone from our scope, but that's going to be getting busy as you go through Saturday and Sunday. We'll get to the details in a moment. Up north around the High Sierra, you got some rain and some snow already happening right now on that live Mega Doppler 7000 HD. That's all going to be moving south to our area Saturday and into Sunday. We've got an area low pressure right about here that's going to be digging in over the next day, right up between San Francisco and Los Angeles, and that's going to be kicking up those chances of rain. And timing-wise, it looks like the best chances will be late Saturday into the first half of Sunday. On top of it, it looks like we will have a significant amount of snow with another system also coming in through Monday and Tuesday. When it's all said and done, it looks like the mountain areas could see over a foot in some spots. There is a winter storm warning for the San Bernardino County and Riverside County mountains. You head up for the winter weather advisory to the LA County and Ventura County mountains, and the north-facing slopes of Ventura County as well. We'll see some pretty good snowfall because of that orographic lift as that moisture rises up the slope. So we're going to be looking for some snowfall totals, probably about 10 to 12 inches for some of those spots. And the rainfall totals are looking like we could see about an inch or more in the foothills. The timing looks like this. I'll bring it through Saturday. Stop it at 4 p.m. Will we have any rain between now and 4 p.m. tomorrow? Maybe. 2 showers are possible around the area, but nothing too significant until we hit about 4 p.m. through midnight tomorrow and in through Sunday morning as well. You see here, these are some pockets of moderate shower activity Saturday at 4. It spreads out. This is 11 p.m. You start seeing some heavier rainfall where those yellows are around the foothills. And then 4 a.m. Sunday, a bullseye in Los Angeles County from L.A. Up into the Pasadena area and into the foothills. And that looks like that will last all the way through Sunday morning, tapering off in through Sunday afternoon. But we're still going to have some scattered showers and snow in the mountains all the way in through, I think, late Sunday. So, again, the totals are looking like this. We've got rainfall probably about an inch to a half of an inch in the valley areas in the foothills, about an inch to 2 inches for totals. And then those snowfall totals, again, over a foot is possible in some of those locations of over 7,000 feet. 7-day forecast for LA Metro and Orange County. Showers Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures are cool, lower 60s throughout. We have another system from Monday into Tuesday. Chances lower, though, only about 30%. Wednesday on looks fantastic. Have a nice break from the rain, although we really need it, and we got 2 weekends that we've got the showers around. Fantastic. The valleys, i.e., a half of an inch to an inch of rain, even more again around those foothill areas. 40% chance of showers on Monday and Tuesday. The beach, seeing some showers as well. Looks like about a quarter to a half of an inch of rain possible at the coast. And then the mountains, yes, another weekend with snow. 6,000 feet and above, I'm saying about 5 to 10 inches. 5,000, a little less than that, 5,000 feet and above. And then we have another shot at some more snow Monday into Tuesday. And the high desert even getting some rain as well, about a tenth of an inch to a quarter of an inch as we go through this next system for the weekend. So get your umbrellas handy for this weekend. Looks good, guys.
All right.
Thankfully. Finally, another one.
Thanks, Jonathan.
You're welcome.
News of another data breach tonight. This time it's Uber that's been hacked. What you need to know.
And ahead at 7:30, an animal abuse investigation turns into a mystery. Investigators tried to check on a dog after reports it was too skinny, but now the dog is missing. Another data breach. This time it's the ride-sharing service Uber, which announced today it was hacked in May. Uber says the database contained the names and driver's license numbers of 50,000 of its drivers. The company says it has notified the drivers and hasn't gotten any reports of information being misused. Uber says it discovered the breach in September and has made changes to prevent another hacking.
The mission is a go. NASA has cleared 2 astronauts to conduct a third planned spacewalk this weekend, despite a leak scare earlier this week. One of the Americans discovered a small amount of water in his helmet after a spacewalk Wednesday. NASA said it was the result of condensation during the air lock repressurization and that he was not in danger. In 2013, another astronaut nearly drowned from water in his helmet. The astronauts are in space to install wiring for new docking bays being added to the International Space Station later this year.
We are updating the evening's top stories next at 7:30.
That includes a big winter storm now just hours away, how mountain communities are preparing for all that snow.
And the mask is off the world's most wanted terrorist. Why investigators in England blocked our ABC News cameras.
Live from ABC7, this is Eyewitness News at 7:30 p.m. on LA56.
Our top story at 7:30, the passing of acting legend Leonard Nimoy. I'm Rudabe Shabazi.
I'm David Ona. This is Eyewitness News on LA56, LA's only live local newscast at 7 p.m. The star passed away today of COPD with his family at his side. He was an actor, director, author, poet, photographer, and humanitarian. But Star Trek fans will always know him best as the half-human, half-Vulcan Mr. Spock. It was a character he played for almost 50 years on both the big and small screens, most recently in 2013 Star Trek Into Darkness. Nimoy was 83.
The House of Representatives tonight approved a bill to fund the Homeland Security Department for 1 week. The measure now goes to President Barack Obama for his signature. The vote about 30 minutes ago was 357 to 60 as Democrats joined majority Republicans in backing the bill. It averts a partial government shutdown.
Well, another story tonight that we are covering, a big one in fact, the incoming winter storm, and meteorologist Jonathan Novak is tracking it all with a live Mega Doppler 7000 HD. Jonathan?
David, folks, another weekend, another shot at some rain. That live Mega Doppler 7000 HD showing we are dry right now, but already shower activity up to the northern portions of California, even the central part of the state, as we see rain and snow from Lake Isabella all the way up to Mammoth and north, where they're seeing some moderate snowfall right now. Okay, so this is moving south toward our area for tonight into tomorrow. I don't expect much. All right, we're going to have about a 30% chance of rain tonight, overnight, and through early Saturday. So we'll keep that in the forecast. Tomorrow afternoon is when things really kick into high gear. I'll detail the timing of everything and the totals. We could see a good amount of rainfall when it's all said and done. Details coming up in your 7-day forecast.
That'll be great. Thanks, Jonathan. Well, this weekend's expected heavy snowfall could make for some slick and dangerous roads for drivers headed to our local mountains. Inland Empire reporter Leticia Juarez reports from Big Bear, and she has advice on getting there safely.
The white stuff means dollar signs.
It also means a lot more people will be making their way up to the mountains. This weekend, a winter storm expected to dump more than a foot of snow.
Because we both come from areas of snow, it's nice to kind of get back into it, and it should be fun. We're going to go skiing tomorrow, so we're kind of looking forward to the snow coming in.
She and her boyfriend planning on hitting the slopes tomorrow. While Snow Summit wasn't too crowded for a Friday afternoon, that is expected to change as the snow starts coming down.
It's nice to have the mountain to yourself if you can, but...
Just don't crash into me.
Yeah, that's about it.
I just don't want to crash into anybody because I'm relearning to ski. So.
Which is why local residents like Jonathan Jacobs will be staying away.
We hide in our cabin on the weekends and ski Monday through Friday.
For anyone planning on making the trip up, they are being urged to pack a few extras in case of emergency.
Always carry chains and cables with you, and water, and dry clothes and socks. Because when you come prepared, you're able to enjoy the beauty of San Bernardino County mountains and the resorts that are here.
Caltrans says they are ready with snowplows and staff.
We have our people on standby. We have people 24/7 ready to go.
Signs up and down the mountain roadways warning drivers to be prepared. And county leaders going a step further, asking visitors to respect their surroundings.
You wouldn't want somebody coming into your community and playing in your yard, leaving trash in your yard, or using your yard as a bathroom.
Apparently that was a pretty big problem last time there was a big snow event up here. And also be aware that the CHP will be out in force. They say they will be assisting with traffic flow and chain enforcement. Reporting in Big Bear, Leticia Juarez, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
And you can track this weekend's upcoming storm in the palm of your hand. Just download the free ABC7 Mega Doppler weather app in the Apple Store or Google Play and get weather updates anywhere you go.
Tonight, new information about the suspect in the highly publicized murder of a Las Vegas woman. 19-year-old Eric Nausch was back in court today. He is accused of shooting and killing neighbor Tammy Myers. At first, it was believed to be a case of road rage, but has since become a more complex case with many questions about the sequence of events. Today, we learned that Nausch suffered a severe head injury when he was abused by his father at just 7 weeks old. His lawyer says he may consider bringing that as part of Nausch's defense. 7 former LA County Sheriff's deputies convicted of obstructing an FBI investigation will stay out of prison, at least for now. The deputies, sergeants, and lieutenants were convicted and sentenced last year, but today won the right to remain free while their appeal case moves forward. Legal experts today said orders from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals is significant because it suggests the judges may believe there is substantial legal issue to be explored on appeal. The deputies were sentenced to prison terms ranging from 18 to 41 months.
In Riverside, neighbors have been concerned about a skinny pit bull mix for weeks, even posting on social media asking for an investigation. But when Animal Service officers visited the home, the owner said the dog had been taken. Inland Empire Bureau Chief Rob McMillan has the latest.
All right.
Sarah McFarland is one of several neighbors out posting flyers trying to alert others about alleged animal cruelty happening at this home in Riverside. McFarland heard about it on social media.
All of us animal lovers were like, what do you mean? The dog's not eating. Like, we have to do something.
This is the dog she's talking about.
Well, the dog is on its deathbed. You can see his ribs, you can see his spine.
The dog owner there probably is not going to win any awards for Dog Owner of the Year. We've cited the dog owner for a number of violations.
Animal Services says none of those violations were for animal cruelty. Regardless, they went out to the home to investigate.
The dog was hyper, it was very active, but it did look thin. So we posted the property with a notice of violation, mandating that the dog owner get it to a vet immediately.
Animal Services says the situation did not appear to be life-threatening. Regardless, when they came back to check on the status of the dog yesterday, the dog was gone. Is the owner hiding it, or did something else happen?
But we have reason to suspect, based on some new posts that are out there floating in social media, that somebody actually took the dog. They stole the dog.
Neighbors have their own opinions.
I wouldn't put it past them that they did something with the dog themselves.
Can we talk to you real quick?
When we tried to ask someone who was leaving the property, she raised her middle finger at us. As for these neighbors, they've had enough.
We care a lot about the animal. We're in fear that something's very much wrong with it.
And Riverside County Animal Services is asking that whoever does have that dog to please turn her in to their main animal shelter in Jurupa Valley. In Riverside, Rob McMillan, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Mexican federales have captured one of the country's most wanted drug lords. Servando Gomez, known as La Tuta, or the Teacher, was arrested in the state of Michoacan, west of Mexico City. Federal police say he was the leader of the Knights of Templar cartel, a quasi-religious criminal enterprise that at one time controlled virtually all politics and commerce in Michoacan.
Hundreds and possibly thousands of Mexicans expelled from the United States will be allowed to return to petition to stay in the country. It's part of a settlement approved by a federal judge in LA and applies to Mexicans who waived rights to a hearing known as voluntary return. It applies to those who left between June 2009 and August 2014 and had reasonable claims to stay. The ACLU sued the government, saying authorities used deceptive tactics.
Tonight, an international manhunt for the world's most wanted terrorist. Last night, we reported his identity. Tonight, ABC's Brian Ross reports on what he's learned about the man's childhood and why ABC's cameras were turned away in London.
This is the face of ISIS without his mask and his knife, according to his neighbors. Mohammed Emwazi, as seen on the front pages of British newspapers tonight. A London college student with a sneer and, unaccountably, a Pittsburgh Pirates baseball cap. How he went from this to this is the puzzle authorities and friends are trying to answer tonight.
We'll begin to slaughter your people on your streets.
One friend told the BBC Emwazi was happy with his life after graduation.
We never realized that he will go to the jihadi.
But one of Emwazi's elementary school teachers told the BBC tonight that at the age of 11, he was put into anger management therapy because he was getting into fights.
We'd find that he'd get very angry and worked up, and it would take him a long time to calm himself down.
By the age of 21, U.S. and British authorities say Emwazi was desperate to find a terror group that would take him. First trying to be part of the Al-Shabaab al-Qaeda group in Somalia, and finally accepted by ISIS about 2 years ago. Emwazi came of age in London as radical Islamists were urging young men to join the jihad against the U.S. and Britain. Most prominent was the activist Anjem Choudhury, who we went to find today outside the city's biggest mosque.
Do you know Emwazi at all?
Choudhury told me he did not know Jihadi John, but called him a Muslim brother whose brutal acts he refused to condemn.
So as of now, you don't want to condemn it?
I know what I want to condemn. I want to condemn you guys for being the tongue of the biggest terrorists in the world, who are the Americans, and their own allies, the British.
British security services have been tracking Emwazi for some 6 years, and tonight they're under fire for letting him slip through their fingers and go to Syria to join ISIS. But authorities say he's just one of hundreds of young men who are being watched, many of them much more serious risks, and he was not under a 24/7 surveillance.
Again, that was ABC's Brian Ross reporting.
Well, we're tracking wet and cold winter storm weather headed our way. Meteorologist Jonathan Novak is tracking it all with the live Mega Doppler 7000 HD radar. His complete forecast is straight ahead.
Plus, Diane Sawyer's eye-opening report on women in prison, the Little League mom behind bars, her must-see report. Tonight, a stunning new portrait of what life is really like for women behind bars. Tonight, Diane Sawyer has a story of a former Little League mom whose family life is now just a distant memory.
Watching you on Good Morning America, I was thinking about that today. I was like, every morning, that's who you and Charlie, every morning, that's who I watch, getting ready for work and getting the kids' lunches back.
A loving husband, 3 kids, a good job. As the manager of a car company, she was a Little League mom. One day, a painful car accident, an OxyContin prescription. And when those pills got too expensive, she turned to something cheaper, heroin.
And it just happened. It just...
What do you mean just happened?
It was for pain, and then I realized it made everything so easy.
She stole checks to pay for drugs, $30,000 in all. Her sentence, 13.5 years. She is part of the fastest growing population in women's prisons, white women. But as we know, black women are still incarcerated at twice the rate of whites. In another cell, Lorena Pretty says she's been here for 36 years. She says it was supposed to be a robbery, but her boyfriend shot 2 people. Her lawyer told her to take a plea. A few years ago, she asked the governor of Maryland for lethal injection.
You asked?
Yes, because of the victim's family and everybody. I wanted them to know that I was sorry for the crime that I had committed.
Prison, a world of complex codes. So many women, so many officers compressed together. A combustible duel of secrets and contraband.
Where the cigarettes at?
There's a screw at the top and they screw it out and they stick stuff up in there.
Making sure it is what it is.
Again, that was ABC's Diane Sawyer reporting, and she tells us that more than 200,000 women are locked up in the United States, more than any country in the world.
That will be an interesting look. Well, get ready for rain, cold, and snow. When will it arrive? Meteorologist Jonathan Novak has his forecast up next. Plus, in sports,
we made the NBA what it is by being one of the pioneers of integration.
Kareem talks about the legacy left behind by NBA pioneer Earl Lloyd.
Welcome back. Some of that rain we've been hoping for on the way. Let's head over to meteorologist Jonathan Novak.
I've been making phone calls. I've been hitting the pavement and made it happen. All right? Do I get any credit? No. All right. Laguna Beach looks fantastic as that sun went down over the clouds, thickening up. Hey, we got some snow in the forecast. But before we get to that radar, check this out. This is Big Bear. How cool of an image is that? That's right now. And those chairlifts are going to be busy as we go through the rest of the weekend. Looks like maybe a foot of snow in some spots. Back to that live Mega Doppler 7000 HD. We're dry right now, but up to the north, we already have some readings, some echoes, some showers, some snow in the High Sierra, stretching all the way up north, and that's going to be moving all the way south into Southern California, that precipitation. As we go through Saturday night into Sunday, that's the best window of opportunity for rainfall and for snowfall as that cold air. This is a really cold system, and it's going to bring a shot at some snow, maybe even a foot or more. In some of the highest elevations. This is a winter storm warning that's in effect for the San Bernardino and Riverside County mountains. This blue area, this is a winter weather advisory. That's for the LA County mountains, also up around Ventura County, and the north-facing slopes of Ventura County actually could see quite a bit of snow too. So in general, expect about 5 to 10 inches, and in some of the highest elevations, over 7,000 feet, I think we could see over a foot of snow. The future rainfall, as this system makes its way to the south, that was over the central portion of the state, or the northern portion of the state, I should say, we're going to see the rain chances on the increase. So for tomorrow morning, not too much. We're looking for maybe a slight chance of rain over the mountains and the foothills around 6 a.m. Now watch what happens in the afternoon. I stopped this at 4 p.m. Pretty much here and there, hit and miss showers around the area. And now watch what happens at night tomorrow night. In the evening time, I stopped this at about 11 p.m. And that chance is not only spread out around the area, but it's also increased in terms of intensity. This area of yellow here is moderate rainfall. The snow over the mountains is going to last through Sunday morning. This is 4 a.m. We got a bullseye for rain, even some heavy rain possible at times, especially around the foothills from LA County all the way into the mountains there. And you see the snow is still going on Sunday morning. Now, Sunday afternoon, I think we'll get a bit of a break. Showers will sort of spread out. It's going to be more of a hit-and-miss situation into Sunday afternoon and evening. But when it's all said and done, we can see rainfall totals like this. 1 to 2 inches around the foothills, an inch to an inch and a half in the valleys, and the beaches could see even a half of an inch or more. And then the snow totals are going to be just fantastic for you guys who are skiers or snowboarders. 6 to 12 inches over 6,000 feet, over 5,000 feet. We're looking 5 to 10 inches when it's all said and done. Because we have another system Monday to Tuesday here that brings an additional shot at some precipitation. And we need it. You've been hearing that all season long. We're finally getting number 2 of these systems in the last 2 weeks. So good stuff. 7-day forecast shows about a half of an inch of rain in the LA Metro and Orange County area. Temperatures are cool all throughout until next Wednesday. So keep the jacket, the umbrella around. You need it for quite a stretch here. Valleys and IE lower 60s for a couple of days. The rain is out there, and then a 40% chance of additional rain on Monday into Tuesday. The beach, cloudy, cool, I'd even say cold, 59 on Sunday, and a chance of about a quarter of an inch of rain to a half of an inch. The mountains, snow around 5 to 10 inches again over the 6,000 to 7,000 foot mark, and then again we could see a foot over that as well. Temperatures are going to be very cold for you guys. In the high desert is cool. Temperatures in the lower 50s. We've got more rain next week on Monday and Tuesday, but this is the real chance, Saturday night into Sunday. Back to you guys.
All right, Jonathan, thank you.
You're welcome.
Earl Lloyd was to basketball what Jackie Robinson was to baseball. Lloyd was a pioneer. He forever changed the game of basketball as the first black player in NBA history. Lloyd died Thursday at the age of 86. Lloyd made his NBA debut in 1950 for the Washington Capitals just before Sweetwater Clifton and Chuck Cooper played their first games. Lloyd played 9 seasons with Washington, Syracuse, and Detroit. He helped the Syracuse Nationals win the 1955 NBA title, joining teammate Jim Tucker as the first black players to play on the championship team. He was inducted to the Basketball Hall of Fame in 2003, and today Kareem Abdul-Jabbar spoke fondly of the late Earl Lloyd.
It was really unfortunate that Earl Lloyd passed. He made the NBA what it is by being one of the pioneers of integration, and he was just someone who stood up and dealt with a lot of hardship in order to make it easier for the rest of us. We all owe him, and I hope he rests in peace.
NBA Commissioner Adam Silver had this to say about Lloyd. The NBA family has lost one of its patriarchs. He was known as a modest gentleman who played the game with skill, class, and pride. His legacy survives in the league he helped integrate, and the entire NBA family will strive to always honor his memory. Moving on now, Staples Center will once again host a title fight tomorrow night The baddest woman on the planet, Ronda Rousey, will defend her women's bantamweight title against undefeated Kat Zingano at UFC 184. Rousey and her opponent Zingano with complete different demeanors at today's weigh-in. Zingano all business as she hit the scale at 134.5 pounds, while the champ all smiles when she hit the stage, and then she got serious as she weighed in at 135 pounds. But both looked very intense for the stare down. Both fighters are undefeated. Zingano is 9-0. Rousey is 10-0 with only one fight lasting beyond the first round, and she's a big favorite coming in at -700.
A new plan to get John Wayne Airport designated as an official port of entry is getting some momentum under its wings. Supporters say it will put the airport on the map for international flights and will be a huge boost for the local economy. Eyewitness News reporter, Orange County reporter Greg Lee takes a closer look.
Every day, a small number of flights at John Wayne Airport come and go from Canada and Mexico. Orange County's only commercial airport began international service in June of 2012, and it's already proven very successful.
Just our few Mexico flights generates more than $40 million in economic benefit and thousands of jobs.
Airport officials want to add more international trips, but it's a tough draw for airlines. John Wayne's not a port of entry, which means air carriers must pay for U.S. Customs and Border Protection to check international travelers. At official ports of entry like LAX, they don't.
Interested in this market and who have told us that those fees are really a hurdle to them starting service here.
Orange County Congresswoman Loretta Sanchez introduced a bill this week asking for Homeland Security to make John Wayne an official port of entry. She says the current system puts an unfair burden on travelers who incur some of the costs. Frequent flyer Jackie Roan says it'd be nice to save that money and to see more international flights going in and out of John Wayne.
It would be good for Orange County to present that to its customers and its constituents, and I think it would be, an undue burden if they didn't.
The bill reads that once approved, it would take 90 days to make this a port of entry. Reporting at the John Wayne Airport, Greg Lee, ABC7, Eyewitness News.
More news straight ahead here at 7:30.
And ahead tonight on Eyewitness News at 11 on ABC7, from $2 to $4 in just a month. What's up with our gas prices? And a close call for a police officer on a routine traffic stop. These stories and all the late-breaking news on Southern California's #1 late newscast, Eyewitness News at 11 on ABC7.
An innovative new recycling program will provide computers to people in need. LA Mayor Eric Garcetti today kicked off our Cycle LA. The program takes city computers slated to be replaced and has them refurbished. About half the computers are then given away to low-income individuals and families. The rest go to local nonprofits with public computer access centers serving low-income communities.
A cat that can't walk tonight is on the move.
Yeah, you did it! That's you did it! She took the joy. She wanted that joy. Good girl.
Oh, she's going for it. This is Tumbleina, a Woodland Hills organization, made her this specially designed wheelchair that allows her to roll around. Workers at the Petotopia Animal Rescue say Tumbleina has an alert mind. She just has a body that doesn't work, but now she does have a chance to move around.
Cute little thing.
Yeah. Good little spirit pushing on like that.
You bet. Thanks for joining us for Eyewitness News at 7:30 on LA56. Law and Order SVU is coming up next.
Have a great night.